Hey guys, welcome to the video, and as promised we have 23 height boosting methods today that are going to make you grow taller. This works if you're an adult or a teen, but please note that we do go into way more depth in our 6'6" method, which you can find in the description of this video. And what that is it is a book of all of the height boosting methods, routines used by, celebrities, people that you might know from the NBA, and obviously just things that we've collected over the years that you won't be able to find online, because let's face it, people hide and gatekeep stuff all the time, and let's face it, this information is too valuable, to be honest, to be giving away for free. So we do have to put a small price tag on it. But let's get into this video. So this is the first one: supplementing boron. You don't normally hear about this, but it's a forgotten mineral that's crucial for bones and is naturally found in dried fruit. So my preference for this one in particular would be to obviously gain it from a natural source, and obviously supplement it if you're not gaining enough from that natural source. But they have given a scientific study into showing that it does give extra height in ostriches, translating to around 4 inches in humans. Obviously this one does have limited evidence to it, but in theory it is something that could work, and there is further evidence to suggest that it would do. Obviously boron does work with vitamin D and magnesium, all regulators of calcium that is being stored in bones. That is basically a whistle stop tour of how it would work within your bones to make them longer. Obviously we do have so this will be available also in the description, this whole thing, so you can check the citations from the research as well. This one as well is very good. Getting sunlight on your balls. So obviously this will supercharge the mitochondria in your cells and create a load of testosterone, and this is very anabolic to the bone. This does help with growth, because let's face it, aromatization is another process you must know about. That is when fat cells are turning your fat cells, the presence of them turns your testosterone to estrogen, and that can close the growth plates. So having high levels of testosterone mitigates against this, and this is why some guys, they grow into their 20s because they've got high enough testosterone levels. And you can buy gelatin powder as well online, and there will be a link in the description to that. But you do again have another research citation here. We have raw milk. Milk is exceptionally rich in building blocks needed for height growth. You've got animal protein, lysine, calcium, and even special proteins, lactoferrin. These are the reasons why milk is great for longer bones. Raw milk is unhomogenized, therefore it means obviously the nutrients are in a greater concentration. Walking barefoot is so good for many reasons. Grounding, obviously, honestly, it's like so good. You can get up in the morning, you can put your feet on the grass, and you'll feel just a buzz of energy rushing to you. There is science behind it, and we won't go into it in this video, but there will be a future video on that if you guys request it. Obviously here, it lowers all the markers of inflammation and declots red blood cells from each other, and it's a superior way to improve blood flow and growth. And again, you have some citations here, you can read more about it and its effects on height. So GABA, or GABA, is a inhibitory neurotransmitter which seems to be great at increasing levels of growth hormone, the #1 factor dictating how tall one will grow. Amino acids, you've got here taurine, glycine, even minerals such as magnesium and zinc are great to ensure proper GABA levels. And you've got this breathing technique here, buteyko. Yeah, so that is for the body to utilize oxygen. So for the body to utilize oxygen, the oxygen needs to be uncoupled from hemoglobin. This is CO2's job. It increases oxygen in the cell. And an example is when you hyperventilate, CO2 levels decrease and cell oxygenation drops. So you've got that there. Playing basketball, the constant jumping will force your shin bones to grow. It's because the type of strain will cause microfractures and subconscious belief that you will need to grow to touch the rim. Belief does come into it. And there are certain sort of testimonials and case studies from our side which have shown that the 6'6" method, it goes very in depth into this technique of microfracturing, which is only merely mentioned here, but there is a lot more behind the science of doing this. You can't find a lot about it online, because obviously it's a method used by top athletes, and That explains why some of the NBA players have grown so substantially in their teenage years, from like 14 to 17. They've grown like 2 feet in some cases. That is the method they use. But belief as well, meditation does also help to an extent, and if it's done properly, like we explained in the 6'6" method, it will be extremely easy for you to grow by using these methods. Obviously, online and in common literature, it's not explained correctly, meaning that you might feel a bit lost and not know what to do. So obviously, it is a good idea to pick up a copy of the 6'6" method if you want to gain further insight into microfracturing and this idea of meditating to grow. But mewing, proper tongue posture, helps calm the nervous system. It's because there are nerve endings at the vagus nerve in the mouth, and it will sense the tongue pressing on the palate, ending up in the tongue, stimulating the vagus nerve. Stimulated vagus nerve, that's obviously an activated parasympathetic state, and then therefore increased activity of osteoblasts, which are bone building cells, and those do aid your growth. Believing in it, yeah, we did mention that one earlier. The 6'6" method goes in so much more detail, and that is a lot more deep than just believing in it. There are certain techniques and meditations you can do. Breathing into your balls, also known as diaphragm breathing, ensures that, so this is actually really good at the gym as well. If you just simply breathe through your chest, you're actually going to cause yourself to be like more affected by injuries and strains. So it's very important in the gym to be breathing properly so you don't get affected by that. But more to the topic of growth, it does aid in spinal decompression, which can help the invertebral discs of the spine to get bigger. Your spine will get longer, helping you grow. But it also aids your postural stability. People do say this, and this is a little bit of extra insight as well. People say that, and science does indeed say this as well, that by actually supplementing, glucosamine, and also hanging on a bar for a minute or two a day, just hanging without any support underneath you, will help to keep and obviously breathing into your balls as well in proper posture. It actually adds like an extra inch to your height. There is a case study for this. There's certain astronauts who have gone into space, and after coming back, after returning, because there's zero gravity in space, they have witnessed increases in height due to posture. So chances are that 90% of you are actually shorter than you could be, 1 inch shorter than you could be. So if you're 5'11", you could, maybe it's not over you, maybe you're 6 foot, but yeah, maybe you're truly 6 foot, because that inch is lost due to bad posture. And that is a very easy one to gain. Then on top of that, you can use these methods to gain further. Losing weight. Yeah, so I did say this, aromatase converts to testosterone, closing your growth plates faster. There is a lot more on this, because this goes a lot deeper, and there's many more methods covered in the 6'6" method on this. 100+ grams of protein. It just figures, doesn't it really? You have to eat to grow, and protein is one of the most vital sources of nutrients for the human body, helping with sort of muscle growth and everything. It's just so helpful, to the body. There are some case studies here as well. Raw goat milk, even better than raw cow milk. Better amino acid balance, more vitamin C, these as well. Good posture, helps your spine, what am I talking about? Spine fight its way against gravity. And do you have any idea how many guys walk shorter than they are just because they slouch? It's a crazy fact. It's a crazy statistic, guys. Eating raw carrots bind to endotoxins found in the gut and are extremely effective at lowering estrogen by helping the liver to process the hormone. So that does help, obviously, with the aromatization, which is caused. Watching the sunrise and sunset every day. Circadian rhythm will be completely good once it's calibrated this way. Circadian rhythm is what regulates every biological aspect in the body, including sleep. Again, another super important factor of HGH production. Eating oysters, it's got all of these in them. Pretty much every other fatty acid, water-soluble vitamin known to man, which is the most absorbable form of a vitamin. Superior food that does contain nutrients that do help with growth. This is covered more in the 6'6" method, and everything is here. So sprinting as well, most anabolic exercise known to man. 5 sets of 10 seconds will spike your growth hormone up to that amount, 771%. Yeah, so you've got to study here as well. But first, the most important thing, the 6'6" method, and we're not getting you to buy this because we want you to buy it. We're getting this because we want to share the secrets. And I've written a course about growing taller. Well, not me, but my colleague. And it is real. Yes, you can see the reviews on the Discord server or the website, and I know what I'm talking about. And yes, you should get it if you want to grow. If these have been valuable to you, if you've gained insight from these, you know, you can see the high amount of value we put into our videos, and therefore, you know, like the guide itself goes about 100 times more into depth than this does. So like there's a page on each of these things. Is crazy, and there's even more, even better techniques that we didn't want to mention just because we don't want to be giving any old person these techniques. I mean, we don't want a bunch of NBA players just dominating the NBA, just like everyone's now 6'7" from using these. But yeah, these are the 23 height boosting methods, and if you go to the link in the description, you can get exclusive access to the 6'6" method, which has case studies of people growing immensely taller, you know, from just using it from a couple of months to a couple of years, all age ranges, you know, 13 years old, 14, 15, in their 20s, in their 30s, people have grown with this method, and there is not a single like bad review. There are 4-star reviews. I don't know why people have reviewed it 4 stars. Maybe the information, because we do go into a lot of depth. That is one thing to consider about the book. So if you're someone who just wants a quick fix, I'm sorry, well, nothing good comes easy. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you in the next video.